Brutal day is over, dirt and grass stain odor, internal mountains shaking, repeated traumas quaking. Get me to my bed where I can cover up my head. Click, my bedroom door is closed, my weakness no longer exposed. Safe within these familiar walls, quiet, hidden as evening falls. Shoes kicked off and hoodie shed, I crawl into my waiting bed. Cool, crisp sheets, laundry soap lingers, scrunching the comforter up with my fingers. Closed eyes and blood pulsing, images of the day still repulsing, measuring my breathing, inhale, exhale, clock radio ticks, ignoring my travail. Bad memories again rise, hot flush, hands over my eyes, eyelids tightly shut, hot teardrops cut. Muffled sounds from the kitchen, my brain's distracted from its mission. Wafting scents of cooking jam and marmalade, my cool dark room they do intrusively invade. Steps heard on the carpet stairs, familiar rhythm of someone who cares. A gentle rap on the door, I fake a low snore. A growing square of light from the hallway signals she's opening my door anyway. Pulling my covers, I face away. Silent steps pause, and then my name she does say. After humiliation, embarrassment, shame, it's hard to face your cheerleader when she calls your name. My bed lowers as she sits down beside me. The pillow squishes up when she pulls in her knee. No words spoken, no awkward questions, only the scent of perfume and sweet confections. Slender fingers stroke my hair, acrylic nails tracing trails to ease my despair. Feels nice, feels good. But I'd be called a mama's boy, yes I would, bristling up, sitting against the headboard, my head bowed down, fiddling with my phone cord. Her hands folded nicely, which I did banish. They clasped together waiting, with love still to lavish. Her exhale, a soft hum, a dramatic stretch, and what's this? A story's begun. Gingerbread Bed, her bedtime poem, begins with a boy, I think I know him. An adventurous tale to a land made of sweets, journeyed there on cookie bed sheets. Her hushed tone and carefully chosen words when she tells of gummy bugs and butterscotch birds. A fairy tale ringmaster, she performs, she regales, around the room and then to my bed as she conjures up the details. A candy dream, my bedtime story, my outlook renewed, a reminder of glory. A hug and a cuddle, then the covers pulled up tight. She kisses my forehead and whispers goodnight. My breathing calmed and my heart tamed. Off she switches the light and exits from whence she came. How can there be a world without her in it? The whole day passes, but it feels like a minute. Downstairs, my dad loading the laundry. Daytime job plus nighttime chores, his constant quandary. From the kitchen, no more pies, cakes, and jams, just dad's cereal and dinners from cans. Those problems at school, no care or concern, for life has taken a different turn. She was a joyful spring day, bright, sweet, with breezes that dance and play, a season you don't appreciate until it's winter, until it's too late. My mother is gone, simply not here anymore, with no warning or goodbye or why or what for. Oh no, make it go. Can't deal, can't think about that. Her poem about a bed on which a boy sat. Not now, maybe ever, will I speak that poem. No, never. Get back in that bed and rest your troubled head. Forget about those things that pull your heartstrings. Don't let it in and don't let it feel. Hold yourself together. Don't forget what's real. People pass away every day and in every possible way. It's a part of life, even though it stabs like a knife. No, I'm fine. I'm strong. I figured this out. I'm not wrong. Everyone has a time to go. Our days mapped out from long ago. That's what Dad's minister told me, that she's with Jesus, happy and free. But what about me? And Dad, doesn't God see? It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. Her life cut short so soon, past tense, with no last words or farewell kisses or final hugs, just chances a boy misses. So I won't say goodbye. I don't have to. I didn't get one. I'll simply be a statue. I'm in control. No one gets to say what I need to do when things happen this way. What if it's all a bad dream? Yeah, just a long nightmare. I'll wake up anytime, and she'll be right there. Okay, all right, but just for tonight. She'd want me to hear her poem about the land of sweets, journeyed there on those cookie bed sheets. And since she's not here, it must surely be me to voice her words, crafted so carefully. There was a young boy laid up in his bed who couldn't rest his troubled head. Even though the stars shone bright and all across the land was night, even though a sleepy breeze swayed the trees and filling up the sky was that moon made of cheese, his eyes would not shut, his dreams would not come, for he only saw gloom, that boy so glum. But what could this be? And what did he see? For the very blanket upon him had become fruit leather, flavored cherry, and warm against his neck, cradling his head, why, it was a pillow of sponge cake, pushing back his bedspread. Staring in disbelief, he looked all around. Upon the bed he rested, nothing but sweets could be found. All this sweet bedding lay there spread upon a bed frame made of gingerbread. Then bursting open the window, came there a rushing fragrance of warm cinnamon air. And to his amazement, before his very eyes, his bed of gingerbread slowly began to rise. Holding on tight, bringing his arms and legs aboard, that boy situated himself against his gingerbread headboard. Higher and higher boy in bed did go, until with a swish they zipped out the window. The cinnamon current carried the boy high, away from his house, his yard, into the night sky. Moon glow from above highlighted his way, coating blue clouds in a dreamy display. His bed head turning this way and that to take in the sights from where he sat. And so caught up in his magical flight, that boy simply had to kneel, then stand, despite the height. Spreading his arms wide and throwing his head back, the boy felt free and excited, feeling no lack. Ready for adventure and a flight of fascination, he looked up ahead to see his fantastic destination. But those sleepy blue clouds he noticed had become lavender, lilac, violet, and plum. The clouds of purple indeed had changed slightly. Now they were bundles of candy floss, each spun tightly. And looking down where once were houses, cars, and trees, now revealed a rolling surface of sparkling white seas. The boy was astounded, amazed, his head delighted and dazed. The boy then noticed his gingerbread ride began its descent with a rolling glide. With his cherry comforter and cookie sheets flapping, gusts of air made his linens dance, whipping, snapping. Pulling past the clouds and lower to the sea, the boy could see through the sweet cream waves. What glee! Nougat narwhals with candy corn horns sailed past sea urchins with licorice thorns, and warm swarms of grape jellyfish, oh my gosh, drifted past underwater mountains of chocolate ganache. With that bed flying so low and now skimming the surface, the boy dangled his legs, dipped his toes, not at all nervous. The gingerbread bed careened up slightly and picked up speed as it headed towards a coastline of muffin mountains made of poppy seed. The boy's senses were dazzled, his balance wavering, all the tastes and smells he couldn't decide his favorite flavoring. Suddenly like that, the bed reached land, blasting over a beach of crushed peppermint sand. And scanning his new horizon, the boy thought in his mind, why is this happening? Who is responsible? Whose world did I find? Up swelled the flying bed as it passed the last dune and rose high above the land like a helium balloon. First smacking his face and then pelting his cheek, green clouds of gummy bugs made the boy shriek. And those buzzing bugs of gummy were surely not alone, for there were butterscotch birds on the cinnamon currents flown. What a grand view the bed gave of this new land. Strange, thought the boy, having no pilot to command. And because this bed, its direction it did not change, the boy saw where he was headed, to the middle of the Muffin Mountain Range. The fondant foothills sharply changed the landscape below, and the updrafts made gingerbread bed begin to bend and bow. With a shift in speed, the bed flew as fast as it could go, as it met the mountains topped with powdered sugar snow. Swerving and swooping between muffin-top peaks, the boy wasn't used to the bed frame's shakes and creaks. With all that noise, it was as if the bed was announcing that it'll soon land with all that jostling and bouncing. Though the boy held on for dear life, in him no fear was found, only expectancy and hope for where the bed would touch ground. And skirting round a steep, sugar dust-filled muffin crag, a valley came into view, and the bed began to lag. Nestled cozy amid those high mountain walls, spread a valley of lollipop woods and icing waterfalls. From the boy's vantage point, he traced, hawk-eyed, a graham cracker pathway winding through the countryside. To the boy's delight, he knew without fail that his flying bed was tracking this graham cracker trail. As the bed hovered near and met up with its track, scratchy crumbles of graham flew up the boy's back. But the bed now slowed to a nice, steady stroll as it floated past rock candy boulders and trees of Tootsie Roll. The boy knew the final destination must be close, as through the Tootsie Roll wood the bed did peacefully coast. And yes, just up ahead, the path led to a clearing, and as the trees parted, he saw what was nearing. Up on a hill, as if perched on a dome, stood a quaint, charming gingerbread home. Closer and closer the house came into view. Around its exterior, candy canes and lollipops grew. And upon its roof, the boy saw a tempting sight. On top of gingerbread panels were slices of Turkish delight. Yes, the house looked completely crafted and designed of every favorite sweet from inside the boy's mind. The gingerbread door swung open wide to allow the floating bed and boy inside. And as he expected, as he passed the threshold, inside there were such furnishings to behold. A long, dark chocolate mahogany dining table, stacked with fine desserts. To eat them all he'd be unable. A marshmallow couch, gumdrop end tables, and toffee walnut chair. But an empty space in the corner, the gingerbread bed slowed to a stop right there. No longer moving, having reached his journey's end, the boy stepped off his bed to stretch and bend. Taking in his new surroundings, which he knew was given to him, he scanned his home layout and noticed he missed something when first coming in. For right by the fireplace, tending to it so faithfully, was a sparkling figure baking ever so gracefully. And turning cheerfully to meet the eyes staring at her, stood a stately queen wearing an apron splattered with batter. "Welcome," said she, "to your candy kingdom above, and enjoy the special land and home baked with love." Needing questions answered and suspicions confirmed, the boy approached the lady baker to be reaffirmed. "So you did all this beautiful world created for me? But why? What for? What makes me so extraordinary?" She smiled, and then she gently sighed. "Because of your worth, it's what I provide." "My worth?" the boy asked, and then she replied, "Because you are loved with love deep and wide. For when you see gloom that the world often makes, you can visit this sweet land that love for you bakes. This love is always here to comfort you, my dear. And whenever you need to soothe your heartache, look up to remember the love you can partake." And finally, I'd reached my mom's poem's end, and without a mistake, each word my memory did lend. I was astounded to find the poem so deeply rooted as it waited dormant in my heart unpolluted. A gift from my mother, whether near or far, to give me strength like a northern star. In a world without her in it, on the road of life I'll roam, but here to the end, the love she prepared will always have a home.